you are someone with an objective and you have a direction that you want to take your life, but your brain consistently takes you in all different directions all throughout the day, how can we learn kind of practically to bring our brains back into focus towards our objectives?
So it all starts with giving yourself something specific to focus on. Here's a really powerful way to do it. There are so many ways to do it, and people can try whatever they want out of the various ways to do it. And some things will work for some people and some things won't. But you'll have to remind me of the question. What was it again?
If someone has an objective or a goal, how do they learn to bring their brain focus back to that goal or objective? Like their thoughts are everywhere throughout the day.
There's lots of different ways to do it.
You even got me forgetting.
Here's one of the best ways to do it, okay? That I have found anyway. You learn to live like this, okay? You want to cultivate the most powerful form of focus that there is. The focus of the spirit. So here's what you do. You start right now, wherever you are. The fundamental thing to understand about focus is you won't be able to do it. You just won't be able to focus. The world has conditioned you to be a scatterbrain because you're much more useful as a scatterbrain, believe it or not. Anyway, so your objective is to cultivate focus. The first thing to understand is your focus is going to run all over the place. You have to know that. Don't expect yourself to be able to focus for a long time first. It's going to take some time. So you give yourself a single objective. That is, right, I want to focus on the breath of the body. Could be anything. But it's very smart to use something present. It could be even the sensation of the body. I want to focus totally on how the body feels. Forget about what else is going on. Forget about what reason you might have for that. Along the lines of maybe focusing on the breath can take you to enlightenment and all that stuff. Forget about that. Right now, we're just talking about cultivating focus itself. So give yourself an object to focus on. The breath is one of the best. All right, so that's it. Learn to totally keep your attention focused on the breath. Tune in to every single element of the breath as it's rising and falling. Learn to abide in the breath. Now, one thing you may notice is if you completely tune into the breath, the body will become very still. And eventually, although may not straight away, eventually the internal activity of the brain will also become very quiet. Now, when you want to do this full time, you need to live as well. You know what I mean? You got to do the washing. You got to get the kids' dinner ready. You've got to clean the floors. You've got to make sure the car's got fuel. You might even have to go to work, etc., etc. You've got to make the kids' bed, make your bed. You've got all this stuff to do. So how do you do this? You give yourself one thought at a time. Right now, because there's nothing going on, I can completely focus in on the breath, cultivating a very powerful present focus. This is doing so many things for you, but without getting too much into that, really, for now, we're just trying to focus on the objective of cultivating focus. Once you have cultivated a strong focus, you can then learn to apply it in different ways. But first of all, you have to cultivate strong focus in order to be able to apply it later. So, focus in on the breath, tune into it deeply. Ignore every impulse that comes up except for whatever your next task is. Give yourself one objective. Okay, wherever you're sitting, what's the next thing you need to do? Okay, do you have to go and cook dinner? All right, then that's it. Leave it at that. You're focused now for the next however long it's going to take you to cook dinner, for 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever it is. Your focus is to completely watch the breath and cook dinner, and that's it. Watch the breath and fully tune in. Don't let your focus deviate further than cooking dinner. What that means is you're going to be completely present with the breath and the experience of cooking the dinner. You're going to feel all of the knives, the utensils. You're going to smell all the food as it's cooking. You're going to feel it all, fully tune into the experience of it. And what you're doing there is cultivating a very powerful and present focus. Some people might understand that to be mindfulness. And yes, it's connected. It's the same thing, really. So then what? Okay, well, your job is to abide by the breath all day long because that's your underlying focus. But then you've done the dinner. Now what? Wash the dishes. Okay, that's it. Single thought, just one thought at a time. Focus in now on the body, the breath, and cook and doing the dishes. And learn to just discard everything else that your brain is going on about. It wants to run in 100 different directions. Ignore it. Don't try to stop that. Just don't follow it. Stay with the dishes, washing the dishes, feeling the experience of the hot water and the bubbles in the soap and everything you can see and everything you can feel there. Okay, the dishes are washed. What's next? Whatever's next, you tell me. Do you need to vacuum the floor? Okay, well then there's that thought. There's done. Now watch the breath and vacuum the floor and be totally immersed in that experience. So simultaneously you're cultivating focus, but you're also cultivating a very powerful present awareness, which is, without maybe going too deep into it, is obviously clearly connected to becoming very aware of what's happening, becoming very aware of the present moment in order to eventually identify, witness, to identify the present spirit awareness itself, which doesn't suffer. That's disconnected from, it is not confined to suffering, let's just say it that way. So by cultivating powerful present focus on the dinner, the dishes, the vacuuming, you are aiding yourself to cultivate the kind of focus it takes to realize the distance between the spirit and the matter, the space which doesn't suffer, which isn't confined to the matter. It surrounds the matter. It's immaterial, immortal. It can't die, the unborn. So your focus is connected to that. And that's what we mean when we say focus is the gateway to realize the nature of the spirit of life. The gateway meaning the gate through which you pass. You go through that in order to realize that you are not the body, you are not the psychology, you are not the circumstances of the present moment. In fact, you are the spirit of life itself.